Exotic cars, lavish homes, expensive shopping sprees, and this often regardless of the backdrop. As Syria's bloody conflict raged, First Lady Asma al-Assad indulged in some retail therapy, according to leaked emails splashed all over the British papers. Allegedly, Mrs. Assad spent tens of thousands on gold, gem-encrusted jewelry, chandeliers, and furniture. Although the authenticity of the emails could not be verified, in 2012 the European Union slapped sanctions on Mrs. Assad's assets.
Western magazines said she's a breath of fresh air, she's tremendously nice, she's wearing Louboutins.
This woman is addicted to finery, to the trappings of power.
Then there's dictator style, the North Korean way. Fox Files has reported extensively on the country and its new leader, Kim Jong-un. The young autocrat and his wife have developed a habit of hosting the flamboyant former NBA star, Dennis Rodman.
I love the guy's awesome.
Recently, Rodman returned to Pyongyang for the second time, and he says he's helping train the North Korean basketball team for the 2016 Olympics.
He's perfect to hang around with a dictator because the two of them can inflate each other like big balloons in the Macy's Day Parade.
Dennis Rodman declined comment to Fox Files on his recent trips. It can be easy to poke fun at the aesthetic excesses of dictators, but virtually impossible to ignore the grim reality of life for millions of people brutally repressed by some of these regimes.
We're talking about people who are living multi-billion-dollar lives while their countrymen live on less than $1 a day.
Once you consider yourself almost a different species, you don't suffer over the disparities in financial resources or power.
During Colonel Muammar Gaddafi's 42 years in power, he entertained the world with his bizarre dress and lavish tents. And wherever he traveled, he was surrounded with female bodyguards, commonly known as the Amazons.
His message to the world was to say, I'm the best friend of the woman.
But there was something far more sinister going on. Fox Files sat down with renowned French journalist Annick Cogent in Paris. Her book, Gaddafi's Harem, has exposed new details of the late Libyan despot's abuses of power and twisted sexual appetite.
Some of these women had been chosen to be among these elite guards just for their look, and most of them were his sex slaves.
Cogent's expose revolves around the story of a young Libyan woman she calls Soraya. Soraya represents one of countless women Cogent says were kidnapped and repeatedly raped by Gaddafi. Soraya spent 5 years held prisoner underneath a tunnel entrance like this one at Gaddafi's Tripoli compound, Bab el-Azizia. It was the headquarters for his secret harem.
Soraya herself, the day after she's been kidnapped, was given a uniform and was supposed to act as if she was a real soldier.
Soraya was just 15 when Gaddafi visited her school.
He put his hand on her head. That was a sign to his bodyguard to say, I want this one. She was washed, shaved, given sexy clothes. She joined a group of young women who were at the disposal of the master of Libya day and night. He forced her to smoke, take cocaine, drink whiskey. He was always under substance.
What happened to people who refused Gaddafi's advances?
They were beaten. Lots of girls were blackmailed and forced to stay with him because of what would happen to their parents, to their brothers, to their sisters.
Was it possible ever to escape from the compound?
Gaddafi had spies everywhere, police, militias, etc. You couldn't escape. It was just impossible.
The dictator's scouts, which included women, were always hunting.
Every occasion to select women, weddings, parties, festivals, university lectures.
This apartment belonging to the colonel with a secret female physical examination room was discovered right on a university campus.
Also, there was this obsession of having more important praise, TV, movie stars, but also daughters or wives of ministries, head of states.
And Gaddafi appeared to have something of an obsession with former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. Crucial to delivering victims to Gaddafi was a woman named Mabrouka Sharif, who has now gone underground.
She was always close to Gaddafi, and so everybody was thinking that she was so important, but in fact, her real job was to take care of the women.
And Cogent says Gaddafi's sex victims also included young men.
I haven't heard of any system like Gaddafi's system. Sex was used for him as a weapon of power.
How many women do you think at any one time were part of this harem?
I would say around 30, but thousands of women have been raped by Gaddafi all those years.
In October 2011, Gaddafi's 42-year reign of terror finally came to an end when he was captured and killed in the Arab Spring. Today, Libya remains in chaos as an interim government struggles to take control of the country.
Well, the situation of the country is a disaster.
A new Libya has yet to emerge from the nightmare of the Gaddafi years, and few want to acknowledge his sex crimes.
Libya is such a conservative country that people don't talk about sex, don't talk about rape.
How is Soraya today?
She's not welcome in her family. She tries to imagine a future she would like to marry. She would like to have a normal life. I don't know what will happen to her.
Peter, are dictators a thing of the past? We've seen so many overthrown recently.
Dictators will be with us for a long time yet, because it's in the interests of the great powers to have them.
Next, we go behind the scenes of Bethany Frankel's latest venture.